You can see there's the lovely McKenna Grace, and there's Logan Kim. I think this guy is Wolford. So this is Trevor, Phoebe, and podcasts. And what is the answer to the question for those who saw my community posts? Because they make up everything. Ha ha ha. But it was a good movie. Um, I tried not to be spoiled, but you know the toys spoil a lot, if not everything. Um, and there's a lot. I mean, you got Paul Rudd. He's not playing Ant-Man. Um, she's listed as Phoebe's classmate, but this is the girl that Trevor runs into at a drive-in theater. Now, the movie starts with what appears to be Egon Spangler, what Harold Ramis would look like in his old age. I kind of figured it was Harold Ramis' body double, stunt double at the beginning of the movie. It didn't surprise me that much. We kind of knew it's him, even though it's like, when you show a Wookiee or a Boba Fett, but it's not the actor, you can show a helmet or Darth Vader, but it's not David Prowse, right? Or a Stormtrooper. It's easy to kind of show characters with no faces in a movie and not, give away too much disillusion that's not the actor in the suit. But when it's a person with a face, it's like you kind of have to go with, I don't know, like iconic things, costume, a cape, boots, a hat, a coat. So with Egon, there's not or Harold Ramis look-alike, there's not a lot of things you get in there, right? But I do believe it's CGI at the beginning as well as the end, which we'll get into. Um, we got here this scene between, I think her name is Carrie Coon, and that's Paul Rudd. So they're going over the map here. This is the scene where he sees this map of the town. Now, I'm not sure if this is the same exact town from Groundhog Day, or it kind of looks like the town from Groundhog Day, a movie that Harold Ramis proudly directed. I remember he said he cried at X-Men. I don't know what that was about. He cried at a lot of movies. And so the thing is that had, um, like, it was in the Sumeric writing. Because Gozer, obviously, Gozer is the main villain. It's a different, I do believe the voice of Gozer is the same one from 84, but a different model is posing as Gozer. I think it was supposed to be Dana Barrett Sigourney Weaver as Gozer. Was that right? But Ada Shalou, I forget, the Middle Eastern woman who did the voice is the same person for this one as well. Um, the rehashing stuff feels a little old. Of course, you got CGI terror dogs. There's a scene where Phoebe's about to shoot the sheriff, Bukim, the guy who plays the old sheriff. He was in Ray and lots of other movies. I remember him in Ray, where he says, "This ain't weed, Ray, and we ain't snorting no bitch. We gotta eat too." I remember that line he said in Ray Charles, the Jamie Foxx movie, where he says, "We gotta eat too." So I remember the scene where she's about to shoot the sheriff. Like, are you going to burn the sheriff to death? And if you know anything about the Proton Blasters, those things are like weapons of mass destruction, aren't they, when they're not shooting at ghosts? Here she is shooting. There's podcast. There's the Logan Kim character. And, she's shooting, playing target practice, okay? And it's like, yeah, those things will burn holes in you, okay? They burned a hole in the targets they were hitting. And it's like, what the fuck was going on? And of course, Trevor, the older kid, that's kind of horny for the black chick, and he lies about his age being 17, and he's 15 or 14. I think it's 15 because Phoebe gives up his age, and she makes jokes. Why are hamsters why are hamsters and cigarettes bad for you, or why is a hamster like a cigarette? They're both bad when you stick them in your mouth and you light it on fire, something like that. She'll make awkward jokes, but they're not too cringy. I think they're sweet, coming from McKenna Grace's performance. She kind of reminds me, all those kids remind me of the kids from the real Ghostbusters cartoon. You remember those kids that were trying to be the next Ghostbusters? They was always hang out with Slimer. Oh, by the way, Slimer's not in the movie, in case you Slimer fans. No Slimer. No Slimer. I think there's an Ecto Cooler tribute revitalization there, but yeah. And this is one of my favorite scenes, is where So Trevor, the older brothers. So basically, the outline is that the mom, played by Carrie, is the daughter of Egon Spangler, who we see Bizarro Egon Spangler at the beginning of the movie. You see a body double try to take out a ghost. Egon is killed by the ghosts, and the idea is that Egon parted from the Ghostbusters because he had believed that the power of Gozer was bigger than he realized. So we do see Dan Aykroyd. We do see Annie Potts. We see Janine. We do see Winston Zedmore and Peter Venkman. We see the original actors. Far better than Answer the Call, right? No, what's her face? No Leslie Jones. Um, None of those actors from Afterlife. I mean, Answer the Call. We don't miss 2016 Ghostbusters. We don't miss Paul Fig. Bye, Paul Fig. You didn't help us. So no Melissa McCarthy, no Leslie Jones. None of those actors are back. That's good. We see the original Ghostbusters playing their actual characters and not simulated characters. Okay, because I don't think Harold Ramis would want to do. I think Harold Ramis would probably praise the movie for trying, because that's what good directors would do. I mean, Harold Ramis was not that kind of guy to be mean spirited. People would say, "Oh yeah, he would spin in his grave about that movie," but nah, I don't think he would have been that mean and spiteful. He would have been a good loser about it. Say, "Hey, okay, the movie's okay, whatever." But you and I both know the truth, don't we? So Egon Spangler built this sort of structure in his house on his farm, and then in a cave that is a shrine to Gozer, and it's in this small town, not unlike Puxatawny in Groundhog Day, right? And so he lived as a recluse. Once Ray, Peter, and Winston and Egon had almost no work, but Egon was finding conspiracies within Gozer conspiracies, and that separated him from the group. And he took all the stuff, all the equipment, the Ecto one, took it, and then the Ghostbusters ended up retiring, and everybody was mad at Egon. Egon was the straw man, the black sheep of the group. He was the odd link out, I guess. That was sad. So Trevor finds the car, and Phoebe finds the weapons, and podcast has got a supernatural podcast on his laptop, on his computers and stuff like that. Um, it's very interesting, and we see the kids, and there's enough focus on these kids to pay attention to them, but not much more than that. It kind of ends with you do see at the end, you see Sigourney Weaver. You don't see no Rick Moranis. I think he's done. Not even no cameo, no Slimer. So I couldn't give it a perfect score. But I think I would have given a perfect score if we went back to the kids. And maybe we would have prepared for something more. I think, if you waited a couple of years until they go through some changes in their bodies and get a little bit closer to adulthood, that they could wear like 4-color uniforms like in the real Ghostbusters, and then like do some more stuff, like do some more ghost busting. That would be interesting. I mean, that would be interesting to see a story that doesn't rely on the old war horses, and then just it's about them. But we'll see if Ivan Reitman could do it, maybe, or Jason Reitman. I'm sorry, Jason the son. If Jason would produce the movie and somebody else directed it, put a new spin on it. That's why I couldn't give it a 10. And I'm not sure. I mean, did anybody find? I found it semi cringy to see Harold Ramis. Anytime you bring back an actor like Peter Cushing, and now Carrie Fisher, who was in The Rise of Skywalker, right, for a little bit. Anytime you bring a dead actor back, it's going to either get angry responses or mixed responses. He's certainly a bit thinner. I think Harold Ramis was a bit out of shape. I know everybody was out of shape. Let me look at Dan Aykroyd. And you remember his ghost stories with a woman. And this one, you see, this is like the Crypt Keeper guy. You see, once Gozer is awakened, then she starts. It's like the same scenes. It's like Home Alone 2. You see a repeat of the same scenes. Trevor and his girlfriend just saw the ghosts come out of a giant well, just like in the previews. The Stay Puft Marshmallow Men. There's a cringy scenes where they're mashing each other up into s'mores. One does like skydiving in the blender, and then just like smashing each other, burning each other. It's like a Garbage Pail Kids like painting, just looking at all these little Stay Puft doing stuff. It's amazing. Um, we got some promo here, and the kids are all looking around. This is like the final scene, next to final scene, because they're looking around. They do the hamster joke, and yeah, so it's amazing. So what there's scenes where podcast helps out with the trap on wheels. That's one of the things that they do. So Trevor would drive the car, Phoebe would have the door gun and to shoot the proton pack, and then podcast would have the would control the trap on wheels. So imagine a ghost trap on an on a remote on an RC car, and then she has another proton gun. She can help out. I guess that the girlfriend could help out with the. She's the daughter of the sheriff, so she drives a police car at the end. I guess she could help out with the a giant PKE meter to detect ghosts at once, multiple ghosts. I don't know. If you made a sequel, they can do all kinds of stuff. It's like the Justice League. They all have to work together. Each one does a different thing. And here's the lovely family together. I think that is Ivan Reitman, and that's Jason Reitman. You got everyone together. There's the mom. The mom. So, and the mom gets possessed. Paul Rudd gets possessed. So, Paul Rudd's role, he shows Cujo, and he shows what's the other one? Oh, I don't remember the movie. He showed Cujo and something else, and I can't remember the other movie. Chucky, yeah, Child's Play. And so his role isn't as great. He's more the tag along. The mom and Gary Gruberson, as they're called, they just tag along. Um, and say, oh yeah, this is the ghost that eats metal. So instead of Slimer, you have this guy, okay? And they capture him, and when the sheriffs pull over the Ecto-1, of course the kid is driving and they're all in jail, and they spend a night in jail, and the mom rescues them. And I remember that scene. She was going to use the gun. I said, "You're going to use the gun." And I remember this joke, this part where Ray talks about how the Ghostbusters had separated. Egon took all the items and the proton packs, the guns, the Ecto-1, and the traps, uh, and went off to a small town, left New York City. But um, what ended up happening was the Ghostbusters headquarters turned into a Starbucks. That was the one biggest laugh I ever had. Because it's like the Bart Simpson joke where Bart Simpson goes to a mall and every store turns into Starbucks. So that's sad. So it's just like there was a scene in Batman Beyond in the comic books where Superman takes off to other planets, but the Daily Planet turned into a nightclub. Like it's not a Daily Planet anymore. It's like if you go to downtown and most of the building's not used except for a couple of floors. So that's a little Stay Puft. That's when the Ecto-1 is revealed. This is where he's eating everything. The door gun again. This is behind the scenes stuff. So the first time they use it is like they accidentally find the door gun, and obviously that wasn't in the. I don't know if that was in Afterlife. If this was, I mean, not Afterlife. If this was in 2016, I'm not sure. I don't think so though. I don't think this was used in 2016. I might have been using the cartoons. There was an Ecto-1. The original Ecto-2 was a helicopter, but they changed that in the movie, I think. I don't remember, but I think the Ecto-2 or became the Ecto-3 in the toys. My old friend, this is good. That's all you need to know. My old friend Dreamcast 84, one of his best movie videos was his Ghostbusters toys. Scare AR. Is this an AR game? I don't know if I can play that or not. Yeah, this is where he discovers the ghost trap, and it says, "Oh, this is fake. Oh, wait a minute, this is real." And I remember how the kids were like, there was a jarring scene where the kids are not paying attention to the ghost trap, but then they're listening in on the kids having a conversation about ghosts in a diner. That's a little weird. It's like either you're interested in seeing a ghost come out of a ghost trap while you're in class, or you're not. but then you're interested in hearing kids talk about ghosts in a diner. I thought that was stupid. It's like the kids were looking in on the main characters, the kids having a talk about ghosts and Gozer and stuff. I'm like, how can they be interested in gossip but not be interested in physical evidence like a ghost trap? The other thing too is that is Janine Melmitz the mom? Because she doesn't recognize him at first. So it's a lot of unanswered questions. There's no way to know. I think that Annie Potts should have returned for one more scene if she was the mom. I don't know. But maybe that was maybe too much. We got an airplane in the background. So there's the little marshmallow man. I don't have much more to say, I think, but um, yeah, and here's everybody. Here's everyone. So yeah, it was a nice reunion. It wasn't perfect without the real Harold, but Cherry Grape Blaster. I don't know what that is. And this is the ghost that you see in the beginning, near the beginning of the movie. And he doesn't know where he is. So I'll end it like this. I gave it an 8.5, but I also gave it a shaky cam yes. Like that was my, because you can't do thumbs up and thumbs down. That's sort of like Siskel and Ebert. But anyway, see it for yourself. And I'm off to get burgers, I guess. It's like, shit, almost 8 o'clock at night. See it when I see you next.